Hey there, everybody. Robert Taylor with Wonderscape Creations, continuing on with our Ultimate series, specifically now with a general video. Um, we're at that point with the actions component that it's now about general understanding of Unreal Engine and how things generally work. So I figured I would help a bunch of people who are relatively new with Unreal Engine or are still very much learning. So if you already understand the engine or you're just simply not interested in learning the little tidbits I have in this video, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. For everybody else, it's very important to understand how everything works in general as far as events and functions and all that goes. So if you don't already know, when you have this selected and you scroll all the way down, you have all of these events, and a lot of these are ACF related. If we right click on here, nothing happens because it's just the general of everything. If we were to right click on the capsule, we would then see all of the events that are part of that capsule. They also show up right here. So it's really up to you how you want to do it. The reason why that is important, we come here, as you can see right here, we have on interactable registered and wakes and sleeps and all that stuff. And there's not much here that we may ourselves deal with, but something that's that you will wind up messing with is the collision component, which the player himself actually has. Where is it? We're just gonna type ACF collision manager component. So you have on collision detected, you have on actor damage on, and then those two don't really matter. That's part of every component. So it's important to understand that each of these has their own unique ones. So if we go to, I think the new one, it's called Spell Manager. All it has is activated and deactivated. Because all this is to store spells. So some of them are going to have nothing. But if we go to Executor, Server Combined Animation Started, and then you have on combined animation started, ended. So all of them have their own unique things to look at, and it's something you need to understand and know, because all of this stuff will help you better understand not only ACF but Unreal Engine in general. Outside of that, generally how things work, as you've seen with the handle crouch that we've set up here, you would just create a function for the event. That way later down the line, if you want to change the function, you can overwrite the function. So it's very important to understand these things, because there have been several people who've spent days trying to figure out how to do something, and then when it's been brought to their attention or they've finally remembered about it, they came to look at the events that the specific components have, and they realized that they could have done it infinitely easier at that point. And I know this one was very general, more specifically towards Unreal Engine itself, but I find that for game development, something like this is very important to remember and to know, to make sure that you go through these. The last thing that you need to make sure you go through to understand is, let's go with the actions component. We drag out of it, there are a lot of functions that can help you on your way. And it's important to understand and to go through all of them and learn them as you need them. If you've got free time and you really want to learn more about a specific component, these are the things that you dive into. So, bindings and unbinding is just like binding. The events that we talked about right there, right here, is action on cooldown. If the action does have a cooldown, is an action state. So all of these things can help you streamline your code. And all of these things can this component could actually be used in an action to help you determine which action to use if you're creating some sort of chain reaction. It's important to understand the tools you're working with. And I know I said that in the last episode, but because there wasn't much left to go over with the ACF actions, I decided that we needed to do this to understand with all components so that I don't have to do this with every component. Look at the events. Look at the functions. Don't recreate the work that's already there in C++ in Blueprint. Something I have not messed with, but I want to make sure everyone is aware of. We type add here in the actions component, add or modify action. So you're able to add and modify actions. You're also able to, I type moveset, you can get moveset action by tag, get current moveset action, get moveset action instances. So you can get these things so you can make changes as needed. And it's very, very important to understand that you can add and remove. Now, if you're going to go through and do that, it's also important to understand that if you are adding your own action, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Make action state. You would choose the montage for the action. The action itself, I had to, let's see, is it still here? Yes. I went and created a variable with the action because for some reason the actions don't show up here. However, when you drag this in, it connects and then it will add or modify the action. And the reason why I say modify is there have been instances where you want the montage to change. So you would change it there, or you want the tag name, you want what the action is to change. And the reason you would do that is because, as you can see, I can't really change the action. I can't change much of what is in the action on the fly. I can go into the variable, sure, to make changes that way, but it's not meant to do a whole bunch. You can do it that way. I would recommend creating your own actor component for it, or functions or whatnot to hold the work that gets done for this. But it's quite important to understand that you can change these move sets, these action sets on the fly if you wanted to. It's important to know that for skill trees and for unlocking actions and skills. You can simply make it to where they can't use it, or you can make it to where it's added so that they can use it. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry for the second lecture, but it was important to finalize everything with the action component and just generally all components in general. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to going over more combat stuff with you in the next episode. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and donate to support me if you'd like by buying me a coffee or joining my Patreon. Thank you and have a wonderful day.